Hello, and welcome back to Jenna Gets Creative. We're on day 8 of my 25 days of holiday art uploads, and as promised, we're talking about a Christmas time tradition from a completely different part of the world. Where, you ask? The Philippines. The piece you're watching me create is a circular mandala inspired by a photo of one of the giant lanterns you might come across if you visit the Philippines in December. More on that in a minute, but if you're new here, I would love it if you would subscribe and turn on notifications. Normally, I upload twice a week at minimum, every Tuesday and Thursday, with additional bonus uploads some weeks. This month, however, I am indeed uploading every single day up to and including Christmas. After that, my channel will go on break while I take a little vacation over New Year's. Officially, my channel is scheduled to come back on Thursday, January 9th, but if I can get enough work done ahead of time, I may have something scheduled to go up on the 2nd as well. We'll see how that's going a little later in the month. If you like this video, don't forget to hit like and leave a comment down below. I love reading your comments, I appreciate the interaction it gives to my videos, and I do reply to everyone. Have you heard of the Giant Lantern Festival in the Philippines? If so, have you had a chance to see it, or would you like to? So apparently, although Christmas traditions around the world sort of lists, we'll simply call this a tradition of the Philippines in general, as if you can see it happening just about anywhere in the country, it's actually specific to one city, San Fernando. A similar festival used to be held in Bacolor, but as it grew and morphed into what the festival is today, it was moved to San Fernando. By the way, I'm going to apologize right now for my horrible pronunciation of place names and possibly other object and cultural words. I do not speak Filipino or any other variation of Tagalog. I'm Canadian, originally from as far west in Canada as you can get. We speak English sounding exactly like news broadcasters from Seattle, Washington, and unless we go to particular schools to do an immersion program as small children, our French language skills are laughable. Beyond that, I have a very, very sparse knowledge of Norwegian, so yeah, nothing to go on here. But let's get back on track. Allegedly, the transition of the Lantern Festival from Bacolor to San Fernando was the same year that provincial capital status was transferred from Bacolor to San Fernando, which was 1904. But some sources disagree and say the festival wasn't held in San Fernando until 1908. Either way, it's been held in San Fernando for over a century at this point. Originally, the lanterns were small, no more than 2 feet in diameter, and made of bamboo and other locally available materials. They were made during the 9-day period that precedes Christmas, from December 16th to the 24th, and then they were brought to Mass on Christmas Eve. As the festival has grown, so have the lanterns. Today, they are, as the festival name implies, gigantic. Everyone living in each barrio of San Fernando contributes to one large lantern for their barrio, be it through creating the initial design, by contributing materials, or in actually constructing and transporting it. Just about everyone has a part in creating these lanterns, and thus lanterns are a symbol of unity. The first officially giant lantern festival was held in 1931, the first year the lanterns were lit by electricity. By electrifying the lanterns, the people of San Fernando were able to make the colorful lanterns flicker in sync with music. I've looked around a little online to find out why 1931 was the start of electric lights in the lanterns, and it does indeed seem that this was the first year the city itself had electricity, as I suspected. My sources and I could be wrong, though. This fact is not mentioned in the Wikipedia article on the city, which I find a little odd. I'm unsure whether or not that year sounds right to me. On one hand, Edison and J.P. Morgan were lighting private residences in New York in the 1880s. On the other hand, over 500 million people in the world still didn't have electricity in 2009. The Philippines was certainly not a wealthy nation at the turn of the century. I suppose 1931 sounds about right then. More traditional materials of bamboo and rice paper were eventually replaced with steel and transparent colored plastics in the 1970s, following a 3-year hiatus during martial law from 1972 to 1974. And fiberglass has started replacing plastics in the last decade. Today, the lanterns are up to 20 feet in diameter and can be lit by as many as 5,000 bulbs. One very important lantern design used is the star. The Parul of Star lantern design is considered the most widespread and sincere symbol of Christmas in the Philippines. The word Parul comes from the Spanish word farol, meaning light or lantern. Stars represent light and hope in Filipino culture. The festival itself is known in the Philippines as, and again, sorry for my pronunciation, Ligligan Parul, which means lantern competition. The earlier festival before the move from Bacolor to San Fernando, which was mostly just a religious event, was called Lubanas. The festival doesn't end with Christmas Mass anymore either. The modern Giant Lantern Festival runs from December 15th all the way into the new year, ending on January 2nd. The reason I decided to design a mandala to go along with this topic is because the photos of the lanterns I saw when I initially made my list of topics for this month reminded me of stained glass rose windows, which of course are one of the more well-known examples of mandalas as religious symbols in Christianity. So a mandala it is. And hey, one more nice mandala down for the coloring book I intend to put out one of these days. Anyway, thanks so much for watching and learning with me. I realize this video is once again probably going to end up being under 10 minutes long, but I kept following links after links after links while I was trying to get more in-depth research, and it feels like this video should be longer. Then again, I definitely strayed away from the topic at hand clicking those links. At some point, I ended up reading about international university student opportunities in Jamaica? Completely wrong part of the world. I'm definitely not looking to start a new university degree. Don't know how I ended up there. And I think I'd melt, honestly. My ancestors lived in the Arctic. But for real, I'm done talking. Tomorrow I'm going to talk about another Christmas carol, and then for midweek we've got some interesting Christmas traditions from some much colder climates. See ya!